Oh, hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to stream. Welcome. Hope everyone's had a fantastic day. It's the 2nd of July and still no signings. Besides Kepa announced, there are still no signings, no strikers. Not even Mendy announced. Apparently, according to rumors, he will be announced tomorrow. Norgard, of course, he is yet to be announced. Go figure when he's gonna be announced, because apparently he hasn't even done his medical. He was on holiday, so he still has to do that apparently. And of course, the big one. Not the big one, the big ones. Let's be real. According to recent reports and rumors, which we're gonna discuss today as well, Eze is open to Arsenal move. Mosquera, aka Mosquito, wants Arsenal move. Obviously, why wouldn't he? Moving from Valencia to Arsenal. And of course, the big one, the striker. The striker. Either Gyokeres, either Cesco. There are some news that went live that got announced about 15-20 minutes before I went live. So there are some interesting news regarding Cesco. There are some interesting news regarding Gyokeres. So we definitely gonna discuss, tackle, and talk about all that. So if you could do me a favor before we do all this stuff, smash the like button if you haven't already, subscribe if you are new around here, and of course, and on top of that, leave your thoughts down the live chat so we can tackle them, we can discuss them, and we can go from there. So big up everyone in the chat who already is here. Well, that's a weird comment to say since I haven't said anything. And the title is talking just about that Mosquera wants Arsenal, Eze is open to a move, and about the Gyokeres and Cesco stuff. So good luck to you if you look at it everything that way. Did someone order a British guy? Big up AJ. Hope you're doing well today. I'm good. I'm definitely good. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling fine. We'll see where we land today. We'll see what happens today. But yeah, it's very hot today as well, plus 30 and everything. So sweatbox settings and all that stuff. Congrats on 655. Big up to you. Big up to all of you. 655. We are inching towards 700, and of course the big 1K. We're gonna get there sooner rather than later, hopefully, and it's all gonna happen with your help, of course. And 5 likes. Big up to you all. So if you haven't already, do me the favor and smash Hulk smash that like button so we can basically just go all over the place. Pause and all that, of course. Big pause, massive pause, and everything that stems from that. But first things first, we're going to talk about instantly. We are getting into this. With no hesitation. We're going to talk about Gyokeres. First things first, of course. What do you make of the rumors that Mendy gets revealed tomorrow? This comes out from Team News and Tickets, if I'm not mistaken, the Ninja Turtle himself. So I'm not too sure. He might be, because it's past July 1st, so Arsenal can pay. Medicals pretty much have been done. Personal terms apparently also have been agreed upon, so that should not be an issue. The big question is when Norgard is going to get announced, because he hasn't apparently done even his medicals, according to latest statements, so who knows about that. But Mendy might be announced tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Arsenal tend to announce news usually on Friday, so it might be Friday as well. The thing is, though, it's Mendy. Apparently, he is joining us. There's no shadow of doubt about that right now. He's going to be an Arsenal player. I'm already looking past it. Yes, Zubimendi announcement. Huge, fun, great. It is what it is. We have a number 6 in our team, but the big questions still remain. Where's the striker? Where's the left winger? Where's the creative number 10? Where's the backup for Bukayo Saka? Where's the left back? Those are the big questions that still get asked, and there are no answers for them, because the rumors are, well, contradicting themselves on a consistent basis, so we genuinely don't know. Those are the big questions, because all of the signings that we were linked with in June and that were completed, they are going to happen. Besides Mosquera, that still is in the works, I think they're all going to happen. They are all going to get announced. Now we have to move on. We need to move on bigger things, more important things. And speaking of bigger things and more important things, this came out yesterday. And I'm not too sure what to make of it. According to Chattavolieri, apparently Viktor Gyökeres has an agreement with Arsenal for a contract valid for 5 years. Now, whether it's true or not, go figure. Seriously, go figure whether it is true or not. That is the big question. I have no idea. I have genuinely no idea whether that is true or not. I wish it was true, but is it? Go figure. Big up views. Hope you're doing well today. I am live. I am live right now. I'm not frozen. I'm watching on stream on a separate screen, and I'm not frozen. Definitely. Not too sure what's happening there because I'm fine. On StreamYard, I'm fine. On second screen when I'm watching my stream simultaneously, I'm all fine as well. Not so sure what's going on there, but keep me posted. Keep me posted if something goes wrong. Maybe StreamYard is acting up again. Maybe, just maybe, StreamYard is acting up again. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, big up views every single time. Go subscribe to views as well. Top-notch guy, top content. Everything is top-notch. Daily streams on multiple channels as well. Always speaks facts. Go subscribe to him. Show him some love. Arsenal fan as well. Take no BS and dishes out only facts. Just pay the money and get Viktor Gyökeres in the 14, please. Thank you and goodbye, basically. Yeah, but this is the big thing. Go figure. Go figure about all of this because this Shatta Cavalieri or whatever, it's everything. Think outside the box. Who is he? I have no idea. Can you trust him? I have no idea again whatsoever. Because these news about Gyokeres and Cesco are very, very vague. And they basically do a jump rope on consistent basis, which is very interesting because, for example, at 7 a.m., you can be linked with Gyokeres. At 12 p.m., you are linked with Cesco quite heavily. And then you just go from there and then just you don't know what is going on because the news regarding Gyokeres, regarding Cesco change daily. That is the biggest issue. They genuinely change daily and have no idea what is going on there. Obviously, for me personally, Viktor Gyökeres is the option for the striker. I don't want Cesco at the moment. I don't want a project player. So for me, that is the big thing. For me, always, of course, Gyökeres is the number one guy. Let me know in the chat as well. Would you rather take Cesco or would you rather take Gyökeres? Because I read today as well that Arsenal apparently have talked also to Ollie Watkins. And despite the fact that he is the third choice option, right? Despite the fact that he's the third choice option, and this is the thing, here it is. It comes out from Team News and Brickets and Crickets and everything regarding the mystery German still, so we have to go with that. That the Arsenal apparently today held talks with Ollie Watkins and told him to hold fire on any deal. He'll be third choice. But the first two are looking very difficult. Again, we are talking about Gyokeres and Cesco here. Despite the fact that we just read that there are some random rumor that Arsenal have agreed a deal with Gyokeres, right? Then on top of that, obviously the Cesco thing is a bit more different. It genuinely is a bit more different because according to latest reports, this is the thing. Apparently, Arsenal are not willing to pay more than 70 million euros, by the way. That's about 64 million pounds. About Benjamin Cesco, Arsenal are waiting to see if Leipzig drop their evaluation regarding him. But of course, for Mikel Arteta, as it says here, Mikel Arteta, preferred target. He feels Cesco completes the team. Like, that is the big thing. That is the big thing for me here. Big question marks, big issues. Regarding Watkins, for me, in January, we should have signed him. And then in summer, we should have gone Gyokeres. So we have two proper strikers, not someone like Havertz or Merino or someone else there. But, Arsenal make no sense. Arsenal genuinely make no sense whatsoever. We all know that. Let's be real. And yeah, this Viktor Gyökeres agreement, go figure. Genuinely go figure. I want both Gyokeres and Cesco, then sell Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz, please. Exactly. That would be the ideal scenario. Ideal scenario is we sign Gyokeres and we sign Cesco, one now, one for the future, and we get rid of Jesus and Havertz. Because those two wages actually covered both of them as well, and we have also some change left over. Let's not kid ourselves. So in the ideal scenario, that is that. The other thing is, though, the hypocrisy I am hearing from Arsenal fans. Because 27-year-old Gyokeres, for them, is too old. Yet 27-year-old Eberechi Eze is best thing since sliced bread. Like, they both are 27. Makes no difference. Like, this is genuinely pick and choose, and all this stuff. Preferred favorites, let's just put it that way. Big up, Biggie. Hope you're doing well. Damn, that cat always gets me. 7 likes, big up to you all. Like and subscribe, people, if you haven't already. Do me that favor. Show some love for the channel. Another day, no Gyokeres. I don't ever want to hear Cesco's name mentioned with Arsenal again. Gyokeres or bust. I totally get it. Big up YouTube censors as well. Big up to you as well. And I totally understand this and I totally get it. For me, Gyokeres seems like the obvious option. It's genuinely as clear as day that for Arsenal, if they want win now type of situation, if they want the bagsman, they have to go for Gyokeres, right? The thing is, though, for me, I already know, I understand that Gyokeres is not going to bag 40, 50 goals for Arsenal next season. It's not going to be like he does it in Portuguese league. But based on his output, the chances he's getting and the chances he would be scoring potentially, he would get 20 goals. I would at least imagine he is getting 20 plus goals for Arsenal next season. And I'm not talking just overall, I'm talking about Premier League potentially even. Because for Cesco, I'm not too sure whether it's going to translate or not. Cesco is a massive gamble, and it's for the future, whatever happens. Hence why signing Gyokeres and Cesco actually would make a lot of sense. But would Arsenal be willing to drop just 150 million, basically, on both of them? Not too sure. Genuinely not too sure. Because we need still a left wing, we need a number 10, backup for Saka, a left back potentially, and everything. Whether you like it or not, the money we have wasted over the years, in previous years, is coming back to haunt us, is biting us in the ass big time, and now we are feeling the pain the more the windows actually drag on. The more it drags on, the more windows we have here under Mikel Arteta, I think more specifically, the more we will feel the repercussions of that. Big up BX Gunner, hope you're doing well today. Big up BX Gunner. Big up Hyper Protagonist, hope you're doing well. Big up Marlon, big up, hope you're doing well. Big up Burton, either strikers will be okay, to be honest. Can't have a worse conversation. To be honest, true, that is also the case. No matter who we sign at striker, whether it's Ollie Watkins, right? It doesn't matter whether it is Ollie Watkins, whether it would be Benjamin Cesco, or whether it is Viktor Gyökeres. They are all better than Havertz by default. Let's just say it as it is. Even if we sign Mateta from Crystal Palace, he's better than Kai Havertz. If we sign Chris Wood from Nottingham Forest, he's better than Kai Havertz. It doesn't matter if we just need to sign a proper and natural striker. That's why I'm very pissed off that, for example, last summer, we much rather spent 37 million or 35 million on Merino, right? When we could have signed Tony for 37, 38 million as well. And during the season, Merino still somehow managed to be up top being our striker. So why not sign Tony in the first place, for example? So it makes no sense. Obviously, you know, in Arsenal, if it makes sense, they don't do it and everything. But yeah, for me, it's not just a matter of the striker we get. It's just that we get a striker. Because right now, it is looking more and more painful the longer this drags on. Because also, the longer this drags on, the longer these players stay on the market, if they are actually like physically on the market, let's just put it that way, the bigger are the chances that some other team can come, swoop in, and we are again left with nothing. That is one of my biggest worries. Obviously, it is a bit worrying that, for example, Arsenal are the only ones that are very loudly linked with Gyokeres. It is very worrying that Arsenal are only ones that are very loudly linked with Cesco, for example. For me, that is worrying because there are countless teams that can afford to pay, for example, Gyokeres' money, yet they are not going for him. They much rather sign someone else, right? That for me is a bit worrying. At the same time, Arsenal are in that kind of a predicament where every single team in the world knows that Arsenal are in a desperate need for a striker. Hence why they can ask whatever pretty much they want for the striker. And they know that if Arsenal will be desperate enough at some point, they will pay the money, right? So that is the biggest predicament Arsenal have put themselves in. It's not also the first time they have put themselves in it. So it is what it is. Big up Everest. Hope you're doing well. Hope Liverpool is treating you well as well, of course. Finally, some good news for you all, maybe. Well, we can only hope. We genuinely can only hope. We can only dream, and we can only expect. We just have to pray, basically. At this point, we are just praying, hoping, and patiently waiting because there's nothing left to do else as an Arsenal fan. We just sit and wait and pray. Like that is it what we can do at this stage. Anyways, bigging up everyone, love to see it. Big up people. No striker, July 2nd. What is this club going on? Tomorrow is your birthday. Big up Marlon, you're turning finally 18 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. The thing is though, tomorrow, according to rumors, Mendy is gonna be announced, so you can celebrate that. Anyways, we don't sign Gyokeres and Rodrigo Eze tomorrow. We won't. We genuinely won't. Like, you can already make amends with that. We genuinely are not going to sign. 10 likes, big up people, big up. Smash the likes, caress it, Hulk smash it, just and everything. Congratulations to Clay Kelly on signing a new contract with Arsenal women's team. Much better looking. Havertz, yeah, to be honest, true. But to be honest, she plays good football. If I'm not mistaken, she was at Arsenal before she went to City. We took her on loan for the part of the season, and we won Champions League with her. So there is a reason to sign her as well. She's finally, if I'm not mistaken, back. In a book I read, there was a thing called the improbability drive, and this is just like Arsenal. Well, sounds about right. Our free speed, Chloe plays in the wing though, so can't be compared to 29. To be honest, just wait. Arteta loves Havertz so much that we can see a world where we sign a striker and Havertz plays left wing. There is a world, so don't hold your breath. She's paying though. Dude, Everest, keep it in your pants. Big up G-Star, hope you're doing well. Is this true? What is true? I need some more specifics in this regard. We need some more specifics. That is the big thing. We need some specifics about all of this. Gyokeres, Rodrigo, Eze, Mosquera, then we done nothing else. Arsenal done. Yeah, exactly. For Arsenal, like, that is the big thing. If we sign Rodrigo, if we sign Gyokeres, we sign Eze and Mosquera, then if you add on top of that Mendy, you start with your Norgards and who else the hell we all signed? What the third one? Kepa, right? Kepa we signed. Overall, it doesn't look as bad anymore. It's just the fact that we all know that Arsenal need to address some instances, some positions in the team desperately and right now. And the fact that Arsenal are again doing it backwards, starting from like some insignificant stuff and then moving to it, it's very frustrating. And we have seen it numerous times in numerous windows that it happens when at the end of the window, we actually don't address even half of what issues we desperately needed to address. So that's why the frustration, the annoyance, the fact that we are pissed off, at least part of Arsenal's fan base, comes out. Other people are saying be patient, everything. I totally get it. If you can be patient, be. But for me, that is the case. We don't address the things that we need to address instantly. We just, do it backwards. And that is annoying, to say the least. Other clubs have properly been told or learned that Gyokeres wants to come to Arsenal. The same with Eze. 2 top players want to come to our club. Just get it done. Exactly. Just get it done. Like, what's the holdup? Seriously, like, what's the holdup? And speaking of Eze, very nice segue, by the way. Thank you for that. Speaking of Eze, right? If we can do this properly, if this works. Here is the case. After direct contact revealed on Monday, Eberechi Eze has opened the doors to Arsenal move in clear way. He said there is no doors to open. During last season, he said he would want to come back to Arsenal. He would want to play for Arsenal again. And to be honest, looking at Eze, that he got cut from the academy, he was crying about that. He was training afterwards and crying with it. He actually would play with some extra chip on his shoulders. He would want to make a statement that Arsenal were wrong for cutting him in the first place. So there are only upsides on signing Eberechi Eze, only upsides. And there is another extra cherry on top of the cake, that there's a possibility that if Eze performs well, in some weird parallel universe, the Ghost Guard, Mosquito Guard, Bummo Guard, Solar Guard, all that stuff, our number 10 basically, right, holds the bench for a change, finally. There's also hope on that. Women's club teams transfer their players so often that they can... Yeah, exactly. It's all over the place. It moves like no tomorrow. Like, it's insane. The probability, that sounds exactly like Arsenal. Yeah. The big thing is, You don't even have to know specifically what improbability drive means, right? But it just sounds Arsenal, doesn't it? It just sounds by default about Arsenal. It just is that insane. Right now, we are just talk. Yeah, we genuinely just talk. We do nothing. We all talk, no action. We all know that actions speak louder than words, right? It's in life an unwritten rule, which pretty much everyone lives by when they judge people, when they judge their characters, their reliance on them, trustworthiness, and all that. Obviously, actions speak louder than words. We're waiting for the action. Youth Academy can fill in the rest youth carrying Madrid right now. Yeah, they are carrying Madrid, and they're actually doing very, very well. Big up at Gary, of course. Daily tweet about Gehi and other people. United should sign Gehi, but he's going to Liverpool, from what I can see. For Newcastle, Anthony Elanga, you get him. Good luck with that. Now put Odegaard in reserve team and give Ranieri his spot and make him as a duo. Yeah, exactly. Actually, Odegaard, for a change, could get some competition. For Arsenal, that is one of the biggest issues. Some of our best players have no competition. And that is why they actually, I'm not saying they're playing relaxed. They're playing maybe a bit less seriously the games. But the fact that, for example, Odegaard can stink out the gaff and not get dropped is embarrassing. Same goes for Saka. As much as Saka is our star boy, you shouldn't feel safe in your position. You should have someone breathing down your neck and be ready to take advantage of your mishaps. And not in a bad way, in a good way. Same goes for Gabriel. Same goes for Saliba. Some of our best players don't have that. And that is a big issue, in my opinion. So let's see. Arsenal can afford all these 3 signings because we would have a sell squad for 3/4 season, 3-4 seasons. We would not need any more major signings after the transfer window closes. There is a statement. There is the thing. Once Arsenal, for example, if Arsenal signed Gyokeres, Rodrigo, and Eze, that means that Arsenal actually can afford go in window, maybe in the near future, right? And then spend about 30 million on a number 6, about 20 million on a new left back and stuff like that. Maybe 35, 40 on a backup striker. We won't be in such a necessity and such a desperation to have even our first team actually being so massive. Because that, for me, for me at least personally, and for many Arsenal fans, is the thing that even our starting 11 has holes. And we haven't improved on them for years. And then the backups that we have are, again, championship level to some point. Mid-table Premier League level. And if you have that drop-off, it's actually embarrassing. Because if we sign, for example, Eze, let's just say, okay, we sign Rodrigo, right? For example, Martinelli holds bench. For example, right? I'm not saying he should. I'm not saying we're going to sell him or not. Take that out of the equation. Martinelli as a backup, actually very solid towards the end part of the game. His pace, running, he can press like no hell, like no tomorrow and everything. Perfect for that scenario. He can start few games as well. No issues there, right? And if we can have actually quality backups, that would solve like genuinely about 50-60% of Arsenal's problems during season. And that is something that we haven't addressed still with over 800 million spent. And to be honest, even under Emery or Wenger. The Arsenal ladies brought in attackers 2 days. Yeah, they instantly do things. Instantly. Chelsea have signed 3-4 forwards already. And Arsenal have signed none. Only defenders. 12 likes, big up people. Like and subscribe, guys. Haven't seen Nathan in a while. Nathan. Yeah, as well, same. I think he said that he's going to take a break. Same goes with Peppermint Freedom. He said he needs a break from this Arsenal crap. Until we start acting like a serious club and we sign actually some proper players, he's not coming back. I talked to Peppermint Freedom on Twitter, right, on occasion in DMs and everything. We discussed some situations, but overall he has taken genuinely a break, if I understand him correctly. We need a right wing from academy. Oh wait, we have Cabaye from our academy who doesn't think. Yeah, we also had Norton Coffey. We had that one as well, and that has worked out. He's now aware of that. Brighton. The infinite improbability drive makes the least probable things become reality, and this sounds like us in the transfer windows. So you are saying that if the improbability drive sounds like Arsenal, we are getting Rodrigo, Gyökeres, and Eze, right? That basically would be that. The real improbability drive would be if we actually sign Suarez, Higuain, Benzema, CR7, those guys when we had the chance. That would be the definition of improbability. But hey, that's a bit different story, different times, and different place. Pace can dribble, can pass, but not one touch on the pitch. He was from Barca and the Real Academy. He would be cooking, and if Arteta wasn't here, yeah, Saka would. And to be honest, I watched today at TikTok. Right, I had a small break. I was looking at what I was looking at. I was checking analytics on my own channel, right? And I just opened TikTok. It opens up the app and everything. And the first thing that popped up was Rodrigo and Arsenal. And I just curiously just watched for a second. And I was watching it. And to be honest, I saw quite a few parallels, right? Regarding the situation of when Barcelona had MSN plus Pedro and Sanchez, no matter how good he played, he never got the limelight, and he basically inevitably left. Now that I'm looking at this, Rodrigo is kind of in the same spot because he doesn't start. Even when he plays well, he doesn't start on consistent basis. Yes, he played 50 games, but he always will be behind Mbappe, Vini. And now it looks like Arda Güler and everything with Xabi Alonso coming in, playing 3 at the back. There is less place for Rodrigo to play and everything. It kind of feels a very similar scenario. And if Arsenal actually could manage to disrupt the foundations of Real Madrid and Rodrigo and actually could get him, that actually would be a very key signing, I think, for Arsenal in general. Big up, Valeria, big up. Do you guys think we realistically get Rodrigo if other clubs get involved? That is the big thing. If other clubs despite the fact that Arsenal get reported that they keep consistent tabs, they are deleting the rates and everything. But there are other teams that need left wingers, and Bayern Munich is one of the prime candidates. I read today random rumor that PSG might even be looking at Rodrigo, which seems very preposterous in my opinion, looking at their winger situation. So I don't trust that whatsoever. But for example, Bayern Munich, since they have gotten rid of Sane, Kingsley Coman, and stuff like that, they are in desperate need of a left winger, and they definitely would be in for Rodrigo if push comes to shove. About 75 to 90, 85 million would be the price, but yeah, it would be a bit of a tough one. What was the other? Are we going to match what other clubs offer? I think we will. The question is, what can we offer to entice more for the player to choose Arsenal over other teams? Can we do that? I still think Cabaye he's faster than Nelly and can dribble decently, can shoot, just needs games. Yeah, but the biggest thing is how he will transform from youth level to high player level, like the professional big time. That is the big question. We still need answers. Same goes for Max Dauman. We need that. We need to see that to evaluate. Yeah, big up, people. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new, enjoy the content and everything. And leave your thoughts down in the live chat. Viktor Gyökeres 14, Eze 10. We should already should be done. Definitely should be done. Will it be done? When it will be done? And if we don't get it done, what's going to follow to that? That is the big thing. That is the big thing, because if Arsenal don't sign Gyokeres, don't sign Cesco, obviously we just talk. Ollie Watkins apparently is the third option. Right? Arsenal have talked to him, said that hold his horses and everything. It is what it is. If we don't get actually Rodrigo, who is the backup option? Madueke, Garnacho, who it is? If we don't get Eze, who is the backup option? Because besides Eze, I only have heard one more name that we actually are linked with. And this is a nuts one as well. Because according to L'Equipe in France, Arsenal apparently are linked with Akluche. That is a big thing. Arsenal have interest in Akluche. So that actually could be very interesting if that happens. Obviously, we are linked with Morgan Rogers as well. I don't think Aston Villa will sell him to us because that's a different gravy. But apparently, Arsenal took advantage of talks with Viktor Gyökeres' agent, Hassan Tetinkaya, to also discuss one of his other clients, Manes Akluche. 23, the player features prominently on Arsenal's list of potential wingers. However, Monaco would be demanding 70 million euros. That's about 63, 64 million pounds, right? Now, the thing is, if we don't get Rodrigo, right? If we don't get Rodrigo, maybe Akluche could be an option. Maybe, just maybe. That would also be the first French player Arteta has signed since being here in 6 years almost. And that would be quite insane, to be honest. That would be breaking the streak as well. We have in and out player can impact whether we think we're gonna. Yeah, we need clutch players. We need players that create magic out of nothing. We need clutch players. We don't have those enough, and we don't have them pretty much at all. Random flashes, yes, we have. But to have someone that we can rely on game in, game out, to see out the game, to get it over the line, we just don't have that. Since Alexis, arguably. Aubameyang could have done it, but not to the same level, in my opinion. Alexis was the last one, the way I see it. Dauman, we will see what's going to happen there. Yeah, Morgan Rogers I hear, but I'm not so sure, again, as I said, that Aston Villa would sell him to us. And even if they would, it would be about 80, 90 million. Genuinely feels that way. My boy, he's a baller, banger goals this season. Yeah. We also don't sell. We can't even sell Zenchenko. And again, that now comes down to the wages. Because realistically, we could get for Zenchenko about 25 million, 30 million if he was on about 50 grand a week. Right? We could do that. However, since Arsenal have put him on 150,000 a week, he was on 20 grand at Man City. When we signed him, we put him on 150. Now that most of the teams cannot afford to pay that. Pretty much no team can afford to pay that. So that means that the part of the salary needs to be compensated by the price of the player, which means that the price of the player just drops. And that is a big issue. And Arsenal have had these issues. The fact that we don't sell in general is a big issue. But the fact that we have now we are paying so much to certain players, it's very hard to imagine Arsenal actually selling well. Because Zenchenko is one of the examples. Jesus is another one. 265 a week. Who's going to pay him that? Or even close to that. Obviously, with injuries, he will have to take pay cuts because no team is going to take other risks. At the same time, last summer, we had about 40, 45 million offer from Palmeiras for him, and Arsenal rejected it. That was smart, wasn't it? Like, there are... Same goes for Kai Havertz. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of Kai Havertz's contract, we just let him go for free. Because we just will not be able to sell him because he's on nearly 300 grand a week. Like, that is also... Unless Saudis are willing to pay that, I just don't see it. 70 million. Well, to be honest, he's one of Monaco's best players, one of the bright lights in general. Trade Odegaard for Eze, but then Morgan Rogers, please. Like, Crystal Palace are not taking Odegaard. Odegaard's on like 200 grand a week, if not more, even 240, if I'm not mistaken. So they are never going to pay that. Their most paid player, if I'm not mistaken, is on what, 120, something like that. Seriously, let's check this. Premier League salaries, Crystal Palace. Let's check. Who is the most paid player at Crystal Palace? Where is it? Yeah, see? If you look at... These are the best earners at Crystal Palace at the moment. Daichi Kamada, 105 grand. Ben Chilwell, 100 grand. Eberechi Eze, 100 grand. Like, those are the best earners at Crystal Palace. Edin Ketia is on 90 grand. That's wild, but he has won a trophy. Look, Mateta is on 50 grand a week. Mateta is on 50 grand a week. Wharton is on 35 grand a week. So swap deal is never going to work whatsoever. Let's be real. Swap deals are never, ever going to work. Like, don't kid yourself in that regard. Seriously, don't kid yourself in that regard. Not sure, like, that is the case. Did you guys see the kind of Arsenal stuff with Raya and Real? Yeah, I saw that. I read that today, that Real Madrid inquired about David Raya, and Arsenal just said, nah, screw you, basically. David Raya is happy at Arsenal. He doesn't want to leave. He has impeccably very close relationship with the goalkeeper coach, Ikanya, and he's happy. He doesn't want to move. What's the close relationship? It's nuts, to be honest. Fulham and Milan want Zinnia here. Yeah, but AC Milan were willing to pay 10 to 15 million. 10 to 15 million for Zenchenko. Just because of his high wages. Same goes for, to be honest, same goes for Fulham. Let's check this, by the way. While we are here, you say Fulham, right? Where is Fulham? Fulham, right? Where is it? Let's see. Fulham's top earners. See, top earners at Fulham. Bernd Leno, well, Reece Nelson doesn't count. He's at Arsenal now. Bernd Leno, 130. Anderson is on 90. Iwobi is on 80. Diop on 70. How Traore is on 65, that is a nuts one. And now if he comes in, he will be on about 130, 120. I don't see that happening as well. Genuinely don't see it happening. 265 a week, the fuck bro is injured. Exactly. That is the big issue. Exactly. That is. Kudos to Spurs. What the hell, man? Oh, I hate the Spurs. They can't get any good player. Like, the thing is, Kudos is 80 million. That's the release clauses for Premier League sides. 100 or 120 is from Saudi sides. 80 million for Kudos is very steep, in my opinion, given the fact that he should be a right winger / free roaming number 10. And when he played for West Ham, he tended to play at left wing at times. And he wasn't great there. Let's be real. He wasn't great there at all. Let's just say it as it is. But 80 million for Kudos, given that last summer we could have signed him for 40, I am not too bothered about it. Let's just put it that way. I'm genuinely not too bothered about it if we get the business done in terms of what we have to do for business. If we get our business done, I don't care where Kudos goes. If we get Rodrigo, Gyokeres, Eze, don't give a damn. Like, that is basically the case. For me, it doesn't matter as much. We overpay 90% of our players. True, we overpay them quite massively. And that is the reason also, a big reason, to be honest, why we cannot sell well. Because first things first, we don't sell at all because we have, in the last 2 years, we have let about 30, 40 young players go of the youth system, from which we minimum could have recuperated at least 150 million minimum. Okonkwo, Salamkhand, and everyone like that, we could have gotten insane amount of money. Let's be real. But Arsenal just let them go for free. And that is a big issue. Because you 100% can guarantee that if it was Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, some of those players we let go for free, would have gone for 15 to 20 million without shadow of a doubt. And that is one of biggest Arsenal's issues. Hence why we still spend the money, but we spend more than others. Mostly because other teams recuperate the money back by selling their young players. I'm curious, if we had let Raya go, if we had gotten Juan Garcia, wouldn't have surprised me one bit because we are shameless as a club. I'm curious now. Yeah, that also is a big thing. Would Arsenal let Raya go if we sign Juan Garcia? Because Juan Garcia is actually a very decent goalkeeper. And in my opinion, it would come to another Ramsdale-Raya type of situation where they both would be fighting for the first spot. And sooner rather than later, someone would get the boot. And given that, for example, 25 million for Garcia, to be honest, is steep, and it all would come from there, I think Raya would get the boot. And that is also over, even not looking at the fact that we wanted Raya before we signed Ramsdale. But Brentford said no, and we signed Ramsdale instead. And we lived with Ramsdale for 2 seasons. And as soon as Raya became available, Arteta latched on it like no tomorrow, and Ramsdale instantly got basically popped out of the team like cork leaf champagne bottle, and Ramsdale was out. Obviously, what he said in an interview with Ian Wright didn't help, but that's a bit different story. No money for them is bullshit. Yeah, exactly. No money for none of them. That is the big issue. Big issue for me. Because we should be able to recuperate some of the money. That is the big thing. And the fact that Arsenal cannot make money even on the simplest of deals anymore, it's actually kind of insane, to say the least. Obviously, nothing new regarding Rodrigo today. We will have to wait and see. However, we are inching closer towards Mosquera. Mosquera's plan is pretty much damn clear. He wants to join Arsenal's project despite new contract proposal from Valencia. Apparently, he has even rejected Valencia's latest contract offer. Full focus is with Arsenal, and personal terms are agreed. A new bid will be needed for Arsenal to sign him. The question just is when. Let's just put it that way. The question just is when. Arsenal apparently want to pay around £17 million for him, which is more or less his release clauses, which are 20 million at the moment, and everything. The big issue is, if we look at Mosquera, right? The big issue with this is, though, and you will see this in a second, as it's loading, Mosquera already. Where is Mosquera? Mosquera. Where is that damn mosquito? Mosquera already. Wait, I'm gonna change it to British pounds so we get a bit more accurate view. Mosquera is on £30,000 a week already, which means if he comes to Arsenal, he will be on about 50-60 grand already, which seems very, I'm not gonna lie, it seems a bit too steep, especially if you look, for example, to Liverpool, to City, where they put players like that on about 15-20 grand max, right? It again shows how poor Arsenal negotiation skills are. Let's be real, because if this guy went to Liverpool or Man City, without shadow of a doubt, he would be on about what, 25, 20 grand. Arsenal will pay him over the top, and that again becomes a big issue if we look at it that way. Yieldis or Akluche, in my opinion. Oh my god. Personally, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen Yieldis about 100 times more than Akluche. I'm gonna say this right now. And from what I have seen from Yieldis, I haven't seen enough from Akluche, so I cannot make an objective decision regarding this. At least it wouldn't be objective, it would be subjective, but from my point of view, which one I would want. But looking at it right now, personally, I would take Yieldis without shadow of a doubt. When is always the question? Yeah, when? When? And knowing Arsenal, wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit too late, because that is Arsenal's pathology to a certain level. We always hold on to the players longer than we should be holding on to and let them go, or we sign them a bit too late than we should have signed them. We are always missing out the perfect opportunistic window. We always do it too early, bin them off, and they succeed out somewhere else. Or we sign them, or we overhold them and we lose money on them, or we just do nothing with them. And that is also a big problem for me with Arsenal. The decision-making is actually always backwards. We can always talk and move too late. Yeah, we always talk. We're always interested. We're always in talks, in discussions, and all this stuff. And ultimately, at the end of the day, we always talk and we don't do anything, right? And that is another issue with Arsenal, in my opinion, which definitely kind of makes every Arsenal fan a bit more frustrated than it should be making. But that is what Arsenal does, and that is a big problem if you are an Arsenal fan. You just have to live with it at the end of the day. You genuinely just have to live with it. I have something I want to show you, because this is what Arsenal fans are doing these days. This is what Arsenal fans are doing these days. Kai Havertz is back, right? It's Kepa holding Havertz shirt. It is what it is. Apparently, person doesn't know the difference between Havertz and Kepa, but okay. Anyways, with Arsenal soon signing Viktor Gyökeres. No idea. Nobody has said that. Who do you prefer or be a backup? How people are even asking these questions? Why people are asking these questions? How can you actually objectively look at the club, see that we don't have a striker, and Havertz is a something rather there, right? And ask the question: if we sign a striker, why would you still start Havertz? Why wouldn't you start Havertz? Yep, I saw Kepa in Arsenal, and I get it. You know what's the worst part? You know what is the worst part for this question? For me personally, it's without shadow of a doubt. You start Gyokeres, let him just, if he sinks or swims, doesn't matter, right? Put him at striker, Havertz holds the bench. The answers, the comments on this tweet are genuinely off the charts. 7 goalkeepers signed, 6 forwards signed. Yeah, that is how Arsenal rolls. 7 goalkeepers, about 5-6 left backs, and 6 forwards. We have signed more goalkeepers than forwards. This is the Arsenal way. This is the rebuild, the process, the evolution of Arsenal. This is the light bulb, apparently. Anyways, what I wanted to show you are the comments on this tweet specifically. Here we go. I will start any striker we sign ahead of Havertz. Oh. Kai should start before any new striker. Very right, apparently. It's not if we sign a striker, it's when we sign a striker. Exactly. At this stage, we should be talking about that. We should be talking about when, not if. But Kepa at Arsenal just sticks me. I get it. I absolutely get it. It's more than the mental aspect of the fact that we have signed another Chelsea player. Because if we signed Kepa from Bournemouth, like directly, nobody would give a damn. If we signed from Brentford, nobody would give a damn. If it was Crystal Palace, nobody would give a damn. It's just the fact that it's from Chelsea. It's the 7th Chelsea player we have signed. And it's like basically 7 Power Rangers. Power Rangers assemble. And there are 7 Chelsea players there. Totally all tongue-in-cheek. Okay. I get what you mean. I mean, I'm not getting into it. Anyways, let's move on. Kai as a backup. With Havertz's experience, no way. What experience does Kai Havertz have? Like, serious talk. Like, seriously. Kai as a backup. With his experience, no way. So this guy is admitting that he would start Kai Havertz over Gyokeres. He would start Prime Benzema. He would start Havertz over Prime Benzema. He would start Havertz over Gyokeres. He would start Havertz over Lewandowski. What the hell are these people on about? It depends on their performance, kinda right. What's good with Havertz? Scoring. Don't think he's at the standards to play as the main striker at the Arsenal. He's not, definitely. Arsenal has never replaced Aubameyang, Ozil, and Alexis. Havertz, Odegaard, and Martinelli. No. Big up to Patrick. Patrick speaking facts here. Big up to Patrick. You know, my issue with Havertz is with Arteta. How he sacrificed fielding his most efficient team, also that he could start him, just to prove a point that he'll adapt, but doesn't extend that to other players. And to be honest, this is a big fact. This is actually a big fact, because only player who gets the patience, the good treatment, the shoulder rubs, the foot rubs, and everything is Kai Havertz. Because rest of the signings, they don't work out well, bun them, let them hold bench. Like, that's what happens. That's Kepa. Yes, he is. Well, Kai is a backup. Facts. Kai will be our second choice. Havertz is a backup. Havertz is clear of that fraud. I am not even trolling. It comes from a Chelsea fan, so it kind of says a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But the fact that he, in general, is saying that Havertz is clear of Gyokeres, oh my God. Even when he's been around alone, I've never preferred him. No way would I prefer him with Gyokeres around. Facts. Where do you get? Is that even a question? Is Kai an out-and-out striker? Let him start learning how to play in the midfield. You know, I had so big hopes on this comment when he said Kai is an Kai is an out-and-out striker. Obviously not. Let him start learning how to play midfield. Dude, he played there for half a year. And what did he do at striker? Well, correctly. F all. We lost the league because of that. Gyokeres starts. Kai midfielder comes in later. How about sell him? Hold bench. Bin him. Bun him. Send him back to Germany. Swap deal with Leverkusen for, I don't know, Schick even. No debate on this. Viktor leading our line and Kai behind him. Pause. I don't even know why you got this kind of question. Facts. If you think Arsenal will sign Gyokeres, then you don't know the Arsenal way. Not gonna lie. Kind of true. Ironically enough, that is true. Yeah, Boniface as well. Big up, Marlon. Boniface, Patrick Schick, someone like that. Seriously. What? It's not a debate. Kai will be backup. Just get both to start in different competitions. Well, none of our business. Okay. Viktor Gyökeres should always on the lineup and Kai should be his backup. Leave Gabriel Jesus on the bench permanently. How about sell him as well? Are you normal asking this? Oh my God, this is the best comment I have seen. Are you normal asking this? Oh my God. Someone said Cesco. Oh, bloody hell. Kai is actually very good. Kai is actually very good. Competition is good. Oh my god. Who cares? Absolutely no one. Here we go with the stupid questions. Facts. Stupid questions. You are kidding, right? I'll sign Gyokeres and make him backup. Funny human. But again, Mikel Arteta is a funny human, so won't be surprised that that guy works against himself at times. Also, true and utter facts. Asking stupid questions. Gyokeres over any MLF. How sure are you that we are bringing Viktor? Like, do you see what we are dealing with on daily basis? I just want to knock some sense in him for that Havertz over an actual striker. Exactly. Man, what the fuck? Kind no striker, no Cam Shadow. I would even wonder if he is even that. The person who gave Havertz and Jesus those wages messed up big time. We are going to have a problem offloading them. Imagine paying those wages for squad players. Exactly. Because Jesus at Man City, when he was at Man City, was on 90,000 a week. He came to Arsenal, he pretty much got triple the salary increase to 270. He's on 265 at the moment. Havertz is on 285. He was on 260, if I'm not mistaken, at Chelsea at the time. So he also got an increase for some weird goddamn reason. And if you add on top of that, that last summer we got about 45 million offer from Palmeiras for Gabriel Jesus, and Arsenal rejected the bid, it makes you ask some seriously weird, important questions if there something is up there wrong. Havertz and a striker, it's like Verts, he's a cam behind the striker shadowing them. Yeah. If Havertz starts over Gyokeres or Cesco, I will question this club. You are not questioning this club already? Like, seriously. But I get your point. If we start Havertz over any actual striker we sign, just sack everyone instantly. Shut up, I will fuck out your that crap. Boniface, yeah, we talked about it. It's crazy to think that this club is divided between Arteta supporters and those who want Arteta out. To be honest, it was also divided in the same place when Wenger was in twilight Wenger times. Wenger was winning few FA Cups here or there. We were finishing top four. Obviously, in the last two seasons, it was a bit different. Finished top 4 and 5th. But overall, it was as well Wenger ins versus Wenger outs. It was the same thing. Although it was more unanimous Wenger outs than Wenger ins at the time. But they were still very split. And at the moment, it's also very nuts that this fan base is split, but it's now roles reversed. The Arteta outs are much less than Arteta ins, right? When Wenger was going out, Wenger outs were 100 times more than Wenger ins. So it's reversed roles at the moment. And when it's gonna end, God knows. Played right wing low and it was not injured. Jesus is a winger, first things first, foremost. He's not a striker in general. So that is the big thing. That is the big thing. Why is he being played at striker? It's also a big question mark for me at times. Very big question marks in that regard. I'm not gonna lie. Heard Liverpool signing Isak and gushing. It's Gehi, I assume. That means Gehi. And we are cooked. Yeah, Liverpool, the big thing is Liverpool are getting Gehi once Kwanzaa obviously is at Bayer Leverkusen, right? The thing is, they are going for a striker. And they want Isak. But I have seen some links with Gyokeres as well. And if they get Gyokeres and Arsenal don't, it will be the end of days. On the stream, on the channel and everything, it might be actually the end of days, to say the least. So we'll see how that goes. Genuinely, we'll see how that goes. But definitely, it is not a great look. Genuinely not a great look if you are looking at that. What should we do in transfer market to catch up to Liverpool and Man City in terms of squad quality? Because for me, we are finishing third next season. Well, if we do nothing right now, we're going to finish top 4, top 5 right now with this squad. Maybe even 6th. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. To even throw a challenge to City and Liverpool, we need to sign Rodrigo, Gyokeres, Eze, and we need to sign another left back. As funny, as comical it sounds, I want another left back because Skelly and Calafiori is not enough. We need a proper left back there as well. Especially if Skelly goes to midfield, Calafiori is as injury prone as the next injury prone player we have in the team. It gives us worries. Plus, Calafiori is a liability defensively. He's good going forward, and if we played 5 at the back, he would be excellent as a left wing back. But yeah, we defensively need more, at least for left back spot specifically. But overall, we need some serious signings to throw a challenge. I'm just gonna put it that way. We know who's gonna go after the FA Cup now. Who's gonna go after? Yeah. Anyways, I have something. As long as you are 16 people here, like the stream, subscribe if you're new, leave your thoughts and your opinions in the chat. I wanted to run something by you because I was thinking about this and I wanted to make this channel more personal, like in terms of more obvious about what it is, because this channel genuinely says Mr. Robo 19 TV, obviously, and it's a bit vague of what it could be or what it's about and all this stuff, unless you go on the channel, right? It might be also a bit difficult to remember for some people. There is a possibility, right? So I was thinking about this and I want to run this by you. I was thinking about a mini channel rebrand in terms of name and in terms of obviously GFX, in terms of profile picture and the banner you see when you log into my YouTube chat, when you go on my YouTube channel. So this is what I came up with. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. This is for the YouTube banner specifically. This is YouTube banner, right? Because Arsenal fan, Gunnar, obviously makes sense, and Latvian because, well, I'm from Latvia, so it also makes sense. Let's be real. I'm not Ukrainian as some people think. They call me Ukrainian Gunnar's cousin, right? It is what it is. It's a compliment, but I'm not. But I'm Latvian. What do you mean tough? What do you mean tough? Let me know what you think. Would be easier to find you. What do you mean easier to find me, as in Latvian Gunnar or in Mr. Robo 19 TV? Because the thing is, like, people like don't know, like, that's how we speak nowadays. Like, dude, I'm not 12. I don't know the new slang, gang, crap, and all that stuff. I mean, it's good. Oh, okay. This is for the banner, and this would be for the and this would be for the profile picture. This would be for the PFP, basically. This would be the PFP, right? This would be Latvian Gunnar, like that, right? And this would be for, of course, for the banner, basically. This would be for that. Let me know what you think. Does that look good? Because I need to change it a bit. Because if I upload this specific image on the banner thing on YouTube, it for mobile specifically, right? For mobile specifically, it kind of cuts it off quite a bit. It basically, I can get my name in, but it cuts off the badge on the right, and it cuts off almost the whole cannon on the left. So I need to make it a bit smaller, but I'm not sure I will do that. But in general, this is the idea I am thinking about. This is the idea I'm thinking about. Making it Latvian Gunnar in terms of just a small channel rebrand and changing the channel name. I was thinking about that. I would still call you Mr. Robo 19 TV, can't lie. I get it. I absolutely get it. I totally get it. Like, seriously. Because it would take time for people to adjust, to get accustomed to. But I was thinking about it. Why the two cannons? Wait, there are two cannons? What? Wait. Two cannons. Where's the second cannon? Or do you mean cannon from the other side as well? In terms of remove Arsenal badge and put cannon on the other side, so two cannons face each other. Or you mean it like that? Like that for me is the question, because at the moment I'm a bit confuzzled. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. Let me know, because I'm just throwing it out there because I'm thinking about it and it's starting to make more and more sense to me. Because I had another idea to make something like this. This will look very weird, by the way, for you all. This was another one I did it. I just randomly, but not too sure I want to do it. Not too sure. It kind of makes it a bit too lost in the crowd. Let's just put it that way. It kind of gets lost in the crowd with all the Rory Talks, Bollocks, and everyone else. Like stuff like that. I was thinking like that. Yeah, like this looks also very nice. I'm not gonna lie. And the profile image, obviously, I haven't finished it yet, but it looks like this. This would be the profile picture. It doesn't look bad. I'm not gonna lie. It genuinely doesn't look bad. At the same time, it's not as personal as this. It genuinely is not as personal as this because obviously I talk about Arsenal here because if I name it Rob Talks Football specifically, it kind of puts a bit of a pressure on me to talk about other football teams and football in general, which I do in general overall, right? But the main focus is Arsenal, obviously. So it's a bit different story. Love the aesthetic on the second one. Yeah, it looks nice. It genuinely looks nice. But I need to. The big thing about this one is I need to remake it because I cannot get it into YouTube. It's a bit too big. It's a bit too wide, so I cannot kind of put it together for all that stuff. But it looks like for me this one seems better for me personally. This is just my obviously because I'm Latvian that makes more sense. Do it, Robo. I get it, but people won't know who I am by the way. Because if I change it to Latvian Gunnar and then I go to BBK stream, Shane, views, anyone's stream, by the way, nobody's gonna know who I am. But I'm gonna just lost. You think this one is better? You think this one is better? I think the first one is better. You think this one is better? I like the Latvian one. Big up to you now. Big up. I love the aesthetic on the second one. Big up to you. Like these are the things I do when I basically have some free time and I have some video and stream ideas I'm trying to make up. Basically, sometimes I genuinely played around a bit in Canva, in other image making softwares and stuff like that, and that's what I made. I have never used, for example, Adobe Photoshop. Never have used Photoshop ever because I've never had it. I just use what I have, and this is what I come up with. This one is better. I don't like this one is better. Like, this one is better for you. You think this one is like looks better or what? Like specifically Latvian Gunnar or what looks better? Like that for me is the big question. Does that one look better or not? Because I need to kind of then make it a bit more, a bit more. I need to make it. Yeah, I need to make it. Yeah, I get it, but for me, I need to buy it and need to do this and everything, so it's gonna be a bit messy in that regard. I don't want to buy it and then make it. There is a free trial, but you need to register if I'm not mistaken and everything. I cannot basically. Big Tim Bag, big bag. Tim Big Bag, big up. Please sell Martinelli and keep just and sell Martinelli and basically I would sell both to be honest. I know it's off topic, but Prime Man U or Prime Barca. Prime Manchester United. As much as I hate to say this, Prime Man U. Can we get matching cannons or badges? I was thinking about it, but for me, like I could do 2 cannons, one on each side. I could do that and everything. Yeah, you see, you have this. You see, you have free access at your work. I don't have that because I work in a different sphere. I work in a different field, so I don't have it. So I basically use whatever free editing softwares and free stuff I do. You know that some part of my thumbnails are made in Microsoft PowerPoint, for example. Seriously, I make some parts of my thumbnails in Microsoft PowerPoint, and then I adjust it in Canva, and then I make some in Canva and stuff like that. I genuinely use Microsoft PowerPoint to make some of the thumbnails I do. Like, that is the nuts one. Like, seriously, I made this one in PowerPoint. It took me about an hour, but I made it in PowerPoint. Genuinely, I made this in Microsoft PowerPoint. Serious talk. Like, I know it doesn't look great, but hey, I just used what I had, and it took me an hour, but it doesn't look bad in my opinion. The background's a bit plain for me. Yeah, that for me as well. The background is a bit plain. I was thinking potentially maybe putting Emirates, like transparent, faded away Emirates in the background, maybe something like that. Maybe that could work, but I haven't got it to it as of yet. I will do it at some point. I need to make the graphics, then I can do the rebranding. When it's gonna happen, I am not too sure right now. We'll see. We'll see. Time only will tell. But for now, yeah, this is the general idea on what I'm doing. The same thing, for example, for profile picture, like PFP, the same thing. This also looks kind of plain, if you ask me. It's also darker. It's not as bright, right? It's not as bright, so it also looks a bit different. It's not as bright, so it's also kind of pissing me off that I need to adjust the contrast, and I need to adjust the white shades and darkness, shadows and everything. I need to change everything, because if you compare these, right, this one looks bright and this one looks dark as night, basically. But yeah, and here also something is missing, and I cannot put my finger on what. Like, I need to adjust all of this. So yeah, but rebranding, it looks like I'm gonna do it solely because just for Arsenal's sake, so people are maybe clearer what's going on the channel and everything. But yeah, when it's gonna happen, I have no idea. But trust me, at some point you will see a post on my YouTube channel. You will see that my Twitter handle is gonna change. My TikTok handle is going to change. My channel name is going to change. It's going to happen at some point, 100%. Canva is nice if it's not worth for you to pay. Exactly. If making graphics was my work, there's no shadow of a doubt I would pay it. But for me, just for casual use and stuff like that, especially given that I can use Pixar, I can use the other one, the pip, whatever it's called, and then you can add it together in Canva and everything, and then you can export it and transform it and everything. I have multiple options, basically. I just put it that way, genuinely. I just put it that way. So yeah, anyways, guys, I think that on that note, I'm gonna end today's stream. That is all I wanted to talk about. We did some transfers, we did some general talk, and then we finished with some potential news that will concern this channel in general in some near future, of course. But yeah, for now, I'm gonna be calling it quits for today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, smash the like, subscribe if you are new around here. Hope you had a great time. Hope you're not too annoyed with Arsenal. I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully tomorrow brings some more positive news. See what tomorrow brings and how this goes. But for now, I am piecing the scene. Take care. Stay safe. Have a nice day tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. Enjoy it. Have a nice time. And see you guys very, very soon. Big up to everyone who joined. Peace out. Bless.